Well then, good evening everyone, and welcome to round 7 of VSL, and we're here at the challenging street circuits of Monaco, and I'm not by myself today. I am joined by the one and only Jackago. How you doing?
Not too bad, Mr. Red Matt.
Oh, thank you.
Come and give you a little bit of moral support this evening.
Oh yeah, I'll just give you a bit more comedy to it as well to make it a bit more enjoyable. What he says. Let's see if it'll be a wet race. Have you had any indication from the drivers that it's indicated to be wet, or?
Not quite yet. The chat appears to be fairly quiet, but I think the last thing these drivers want tonight is a bit of wet weather.
Oh,
it's bad enough in the dry, this one.
So I'm looking at the times being set. Are we looking at drivers probably setting 109s, 110s? To get a good lap together, maybe even dipping into 108s, but Kyle's had experience around this track in a previous race he did yesterday, I believe, so he'll have the most experience around here, so he'll have an indication of how the tyres behave around here, so he's at a bit of advantage around here at the moment as we look on board Kyle at the moment, as ever so reliable Y Racer's internet has disconnected, which is fun.
Imagine my surprise at that. Water is wet, everywhere else is green. Jack Craig is the first one out of the pits, by the way, so maybe
I'll probably
ride on board with him as he gets to grips on his outlap of the circuit.
Ride on board with him. Who was it? Sorry, Jack Craig?
In the McLaren, sorry.
Not McLaren. It's so bright orange. It's crazy.
These cars look lovely under the lights.
They do.
They always do at these night races.
We thought we'd spice it up, make Monaco in the night, so that might mess up with people's braking points a bit. Because I always find in the daytime, I always look for the shadows. Hey, you want to do a hot lap?
Oh no, this is all over to you.
Alrighty then, I've just lost the track map of the track. So unfortunately we're going to turn 1 up the steep hill. Oh gosh, I've completely messed it up, I apologise. I had the track map on my screen, but unfortunately it's my tablet's now decided to turn off, so unfortunately I am without any information. But that's Sector 1.
Jack goes fastest in Sector 1, as you would imagine.
Of course, first car out on track. See, I'm just looking at what strategies as well. Looking on the left, there is medium compound tyre runners. So that's indicating to me it's not a wet race if you've got people going out on the medium tyre.
Or possibly just putting their sighters in, just trying to learn the track more than anything. It's something I've done in the past where you'd add a bit more fuel at the start, stay out for a few laps, as Jack can validate, by the way.
Okay.
And then just learn the track and then come in at the end of qualifying and put your softs on.
Alright.
All about gaining confidence around Monaco. There's very much rhythm to it. Jack will pit at the end of this lap.
Okay, I mean this is going to be a story of the race itself really, it's just keeping it clean and just trying to not lose your front wing as car goes across the line to set a 109.7. You know, I was expecting 110s but he's straight gone into the 109s, and time's gone into P1 with a 109.2. I don't think Kyle was expecting that really.
No,
in the Alpha Tauri
last week. This is the Dutch gentleman that was in the, the Racing Point last week, I believe. I wasn't here. Aggressive, which is good and bad, but very fast.
Oh,
so he could well be one to watch.
Definitely. Especially around that instant round turn 3 on the last lap, the safety car really did screw him over a bit. I think it was a Haas driver of Brad who also got their race ruined by the safety car. I can't remember, it was near towards the end of the race.
Yeah, it was a very last lap, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely.
The drivers involved with an ambitious move from saying Tyne? Is that how you're pronouncing his name?
Tiny, yeah, that's his name, Tiny. He said in the comments the other day.
Okay.
Just gonna have a quick check of the stream, see if we can hear us okay.
That's his name, Tiny. He said in the comments the other day.
Okay. Yeah, because sometimes I'm just checking the stream because sometimes my party doesn't allow to hear the other person in the party, but that's okay. You can hear you, so I've not just been talking to myself. That's okay.
some people will be disappointed that they can hear me. Oh, but I'm used to it, don't worry.
No, it's fine. Let's see who is on the lap right now. Got Juicy, who's out on an out lap at the moment, prepping his tyres. Let's ride on board with him. As he goes through Raskas. I must say, great name. He goes through Anthony Nose, up into turn 1. Down this long straight. This is, I'd say, the only sort of overtaking opportunity into Sandy Vault. Turn 1 is cut the apex really well there. Straightened the car up really well, not spun the raised up, but Bell Ravage. Let's see how he attacks Massenet. Bit wide there. So he goes through the casino. That's nice tight there through the right hander. Would have sacrificed a bit there, missing the apex at Massenet as he goes through Mirabeau and then past the Grand Hotel on a tight hairpin. It feels like an age around these corners, one of the slowest corners on the calendar. I think the slowest corner on the calendar in general, I think. Don't know if there's a new track out there that's beating it. As we go through the tunnel section, approaching the Nobel chicane, you can brake so late now in these F1 2020 cars, past the 100 metre board, brake here, just missing the walls, perfectly clips the apex, and he's very slow on the power reducer as he goes through the swimming pool section, left right. He's going that fast, I'm not having a chance to say the corner names as he goes through Raskas and then into Anthony Nose. As he approaches the main straight, I'll say straight, it's a corner. What lap time does he set here? 1:12.0. I think he'll be very disappointed with that. He did miss a lot of apex riding on board with him.
I was just going to bring to your attention, Matt, that through that second sector he was so loose the whole time. He did well to keep out the walls, so a lap on the board nonetheless, which would be a good start at least. A starting point for him, and now I can go again.
Let's see who else is on. Who else is on an outlap at the moment? Who's in near the front? We've got Kyle. Now Kyle is about to start his lap now, going down the main straight. I'll see the difference between the Racing Point and the Haas driver. Breaking very late. His yellow flags, internal news hours has gone off.
The Red Bull.
Red Bull. Is that Y Racer? It is Y. It's Yuri, yes. Yeah. Got to see the other Red Bull drivers in the pit lane. That's a very, very neat sector 1 from Kyle. He is up by only just 7,000, I think.
It's purple.
As he goes into Portier. Very important to get a good exit out here, because you don't get a good exit here, you just see the tents tumbling down. It feels awful. Let's go through the tunnel section into the Nobel chicane, where Perez had his serious incident back in 2011, into where Pedro De La Rosa filled in for him, I think, at the next race at, I can't remember where it was. Can't remember. What's after Monaco?
Yeah, back then it would have been Canada, I believe.
Canada, that's it. I think it was Pedro De La Rosa that filled in for him, I believe. I may be wrong.
In the Sauber.
Yep.
Final turn there for Kyle as he heads onto the main straight, powers the line. It should be P1. It's not. I've been distracted by that McLaren coming out the pits there.
Yes, 109.3. Still time to find, and Tyne's still got another lap to do. And I don't think that was a full-on push lap for Tyne either. That's good evening to Tyne in the chat as he's watching it whilst he's in the pit. Probably having a nice brew, nice drink. So you've got drivers watching.
I was just going to say apologies to pronouncing his name wrong at the beginning of the stream there.
Oh, I did it last week, so it's forgivable. So, would you say it's easy one-stop round this track then?
For the majority of drivers, yes. If your name's Pete Knighton, you should be looking at maybe 9-10 stops. If you're lucky, possibly 8. He is a man who likes the wall, he will use it, and he will get wing damage. So don't expect much from Pete today, but possible race winners are probably the top 4 on the in the current standings in qualifying.
Yes.
I'd be looking at those 4 for the win for sure.
That's apologies if you had a little frame drop in the internet. My internet's had a little random spike of loss of internet, which it has been doing, unfortunately. So if there's little lags on the stream, I do apologise. With a new provider next week, so hopefully there's none of that. So as we're riding on board on Speed Knighton now, as he goes.
Of course,
goes through to Casino.
Very quick over a lap.
Looks very good there. Has his lap time been invalidated? No, he's 700 away from the fastest sector 1. That hairpin through the Grand Hotel is just feels like it's just even watching it feels frustrating.
And Pete will be struggling through there more than others as well, being a pad driver.
Alright. Even the hairpin, that tight hairpin on the pad, I think is a lot slower than it is on the wheel.
Yeah.
Through to back now into Ville Rivage, a swimming pool. It's the 10th up, you know. This is not a bad lap. As you got traffic from Kev Rusky. Kev is going to get out of his way. And he's out of ERS deployment, so this might... he's clipped the inside wall at the final corner, which was looking to be a promising lap. I don't know if that Renault may have distracted him a bit there, you know.
Of course, that Renault was last week's race winner as well, through penalties.
Indeed, I must admit that was a very good drive for him, as cars coming out of the pit lane as well now. No, but I've also noticed now with these hot laps, the cars are running out of ERS at the crucial part of the track where the straight is. So, I wonder, can you control? I think you can control the ERS on qualifying, so maybe drivers need to be a bit smart here. Turn ERS off, maybe down the tight sector 2 where we are now, and sort of save it for when you're going down the final straight. That may find them a bit of time there.
Yeah, you can definitely turn it off. It's a bit more logistical on the controller, but you can do it. And like you say, drivers could gain a couple of tenths out of it if they use their noggins.
And whilst we're just looking on board the Knighton, Brad's gone up into P3 for 110.1, but look at the gap between third and second. 8 tenths in it, I believe, on the top of maybe 7 tenths. That's 8 tenths, my apologies. My maths is not very good, unfortunately. As Brad's now riding around in 8th gear, it seems. Unless that's just a graphical glitch on my end. Who else is on a lap right now?
Matter, I believe.
Matter's on a lap.
Looks like he's pushing.
Indeed.
At the end of sector 1.
Both of the Williams is 2 tenths up. This track is definitely ramping up to be a bit quicker now, as a lot of cars seem to be finding time in sector 1. Go maybe through to Portier, where Jenson Button did a brave move on Pascal Wehrlein in 2017, which it didn't end well for Pascal Wehrlein, unfortunately, which is a very underrated driver in my opinion. Never got the chance he deserved in F1 really. So go through one of my favourite corners in F1 all to back. That corner, you just flick the car into the left hand and through the swimming pool, left, right, left again, as we go into Raskas, into the last corner. Anthony knows. Let's get the DRS open. What lap time is he set? Is it under the 110s? Not quite. It's a 110.1. Nothing in it between P3 and 4. Now
he was committed.
Indeed.
He was definitely committed, but he just lost it out of that penultimate corner there.
He did.
Time.
Through Raskas, may have, like you say, lost the rear, may have had too much temperature in his rear tyres when he was trying to put the throttle down the last corner. As tyres retired.
How's that for confidence?
Did he crash? Or did he just retire? Let's have a look on Race Director. See.
There's a slow Alpha Tauri at the Nouvelle Chicane.
Tyne has indeed crashed the car looking at the Race Director. So.
That car has now been cleared.
And indeed, I'll explain the yellow flags as now Kyle, I believe, is on his final push lap here. Going through Casino to Mirabel. I was looking down at my map. I unfortunately did not see if he was up in sector 1, but I believe he was. I saw a minus symbol. Let's go through the tunnel to get a good exit here. That's a very good exit out of there through to the tunnel. Let's see how he approached the Noval chicane on this final lap, braking just after the 100-metre board. Quick left right here, keeping the car as tight as possible to the right to open up a little straight 3-2 to back. One of my favourite corners, as I keep saying, then into the swimming pool section. As we approach, the fan's got on, he's lost the rear end,
losing the car.
And that's his lap done. I think that's his qualifying over. You can just tell by his throttle application, he's fuming with himself right now.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. He was up in sector 2. He was flying. That would have been pole.
Yeah, maybe a bit of pressure put on him after seeing Tyne's lap. He'd be wrong.
So can anybody get close to the front two? Monaco's all about track position.
And you have to be careful now not to be out of sync as well, because there could be traffic if you're on the final lap, and trying to keep out the way isn't exactly easy. Let's ride on board Flexi now, our championship leader in P5 at the moment. Let's see what he does here now, going into turn 1. That may have cut the corner a bit there. I'm surprised his lap time's not invalidated there.
I think he's fine, he's got away with that.
Just got away with that, nice game. Through Casino, as we approach me, was he up in sector 1, he's 1/10 up. It seems the leaders didn't set a really good sector 1. As we go through the Grand Hotel, this is the problem now, we've got traffic ahead of Yuri. So we go through Petit as he gets very nicely out of the way. That's how it should be done around Monaco.
Yuri is good at that, he's used to being lapped.
I wasn't going to say that, but it's like you say.
Right.
Oh, that's definitely a corner cut.
Yep.
Get in the bin.
Championship leader.
That's P5, and really, you want to be at least in the top 4 really in Monaco. Anything below that, it's going to be an obstacle course. Let's face it that way. But I've had a look.
Ahmed's in the wall just before swimming pool.
Ahmed's in the wall.
And there he goes invalidating again, so that's the end of his qualifying.
It's unfortunate. See who else is on an outlap. Kyle seems to be on an outlap. Kyle is about to start another lap. I thought his qualifying's over. Well, let's ride on board with P2 of Kyle, see if we can get that Haas up into P1. Through turn 1 now. Very, very good exit out of turn 1 as he goes up the hill through Beau Rivage. So we approach Massenate. See how his front end is on this Haas. Looks very, very well. Planting the throttle just right. He is only just up at sector 1, not quicker than Flexi's sector 1, so that would be interesting to see where Flexi goes. But he's on his second lap on those set of soft tyres, so his tyres might drop off towards the last sector.
Pete Knight goes third, by the way.
Great little lap there from Speed Knighton, but I think it'd be hoping to have been in the 109s really. Let's go through the Novel chicane, going towards the back for the last time. Is he committed? He is indeed. Through the swimming pool section, as we approach Raskas, where Bianchi did a great move on Kamui Kobayashi in the Caterham. Through Antri knows he's out of VRS. Could this be what cost him pole position? Fortunately
Kyle still to come. Here he goes. He won. Kyle takes it at the end.
Yes, indeed. I apologise. I was thinking I was on board with Brad. I was on board. I was on board with Brad. So I'm sorry about that. But Brad did improve to go to P4. I apologise to the stream, that's probably what the comments are, but Kyle is in P1. Is there anyone else still on the lap? No, I believe...
No, we did miss Matter putting up to P3, and you remember Pete Knighton about a minute ago, he was third. He's dropped 3 places in the space of a minute.
It's track evolution for you. And looking in the comments, apparently in practice, Time did a 108.6. So, by all means, that indicates to me Kyle's got a lot of defending on his hand if Time's got that much pace. But ideally around here you want to keep it clean, keep as minimal penalties as possible. And for all you know, you could be in like a train from first to sixth, and you could have no penalties, and you could end up winning the race without getting any penalties.
And just to remind you what happened last week, Tyne and Kyle have a bit of a rivalry going on. Tyne pushed Kyle wide in turn 8 at Spain, and that ruined Kyle's race.
Indeed. So who do you think has been your standout performer in this qualifying session then?
Probably Yuri in P9. You know, very rarely gets into the top 17, so it's actually good to see him up there.
Yeah, I'd say.
Sad to see Ahmed so low down. Kev, a good qualifying, backing up his race win from last week. But the top 5, 6, 7 should really be surprised that they're there. No, they are the best. Pete Knighton will crash, that is confirmed. But I think we're in for a good race.
Oh, aye. Looking forward to this. I mean, most of the action is going to be on turn 1. So let's see how many cars are actually going to finish with their complete car intact. And just look at that grid there. The gap between first and second. There's nothing in it. So we've got Kyle in first, Tyne in second, with Matt following in P3, Brad in 4th, Iceman in 5th, and Knighton in 6th, Sam Flexi in P7, Kepruski in 8th, Speedway Racer, our standout performer in qualifying in P9, and rounding off the top 10 is Slenderman in Mercedes.
Good looking grid. And like I said a few minutes ago to you, of course, Monaco, it's all about track position, so whoever leads out of turn 1 is probably in with a shout of the race win, but if anybody wants to overtake, they've got to do so at their own risk. And if they are going to, it's got to be clean, otherwise it's curtains.
I think harvesting ERS around here isn't an issue with the amount of braking zones that are possible. I mean, the only sort of overtaking opportunities realistically is the finish straight and through the tunnel sections. You get a good exit out of Portia. As we remind the drivers, do not ready up. Sounded like Boris Johnson for a minute there.
Do stay at home, but don't stay at home.
Yes. Gosh, oh dear. Apparently I have 4 comments on the stream, but I can't see anything. So that's great. Loves that.
Good to hear.
So I think Tyne is going to win the race here. Because I found in Spain, I was about to say Spa, that was the last real F1 race, but in Spain, he got a very good start.
Hate to say it, I did miss the start of Spain. I caught the end of it, but I missed the start.
And, yep, someone has readied up, and apparently it's Fraser. As we prepare for the formation lap. The number 22 car of Kyle. Just seems, I think, I always find though online now you have a lot of people the same number. I've seen a lot of number 22s. I don't know if that's just me. Probably is just me.
Well, did you see that tweet? I can't remember who it's from. The tweet a few weeks ago about the most popular driver numbers in real life F1, and it's the double figures. So you're 11, 22, 33, so on.
Oh wow!
All of them, apart from 22, obviously Jensen Button, all of them are currently occupied.
Oh wow!
Did you know that?
I did not.
I could be wrong. I think there might be another number that's not occupied, but
I did not. But it sort of makes sense because the only driver I can remember on the top of my head who has a single figure is Lando Norris, the number 4, and of course Roman Grosjean with the number 8.
And Ricciardo, and Raikkonen.
4 drivers out of the 20.
There's probably another one as well. Ocon? No, sorry, Latifi. Ocon's 31. Latifi's 6.
Is he? Oh, I don't know. He's too far down the grid for me to even see the car, so I don't know.
Still ahead of Ferrari.
It's great to see Williams and Ferrari battling again, though, I must say.
Yeah, it's like the 80s.
Indeed. as straight away, because whoever readied up under the 2-minute interval, Matt and Brad are going to be at a disadvantage because they haven't got a chance to warm their tyres up, and Monaco being one of the most important races to have a good start, straight away they're at a disadvantage here, so whoever's readied up I think is going to get a little penalty there because it's put them at a bigger disadvantage. I'm really looking forward to this, you know.
I'm looking forward to turn 1, and I hope we don't get a ball fest there afterwards.
I really do not, but with these drivers they always look for an opportunity and they will not take any second chances, they will take the first chance they get.
That is true. Keep your eyes on the Renault drivers. Great race last week, and also the top 7, very, very fast. Over to you.
So we go to the 3, 4 and 5 lights. Lights out and away we go, and Kyle seems to get a good start with time just following behind him. The cold tyre starters, the Williams and the Haas, as my timing screen has completely glitched out. I believe through turn 1 everyone is all okay. And there's a yellow flag and there's the Renault in the wall. The Renault you told to look out for is in the wall, and straight away we have a virtual safety car, and Juicy has a 5-second time penalty with a collision with Speed Newgarden. Another 5-second penalty is given for another collision with Speed Newgarden. So
definitely damage on the 37
yes.
car, the Mercedes of Risky. I'm not sure who else picked any up. Ahmed did.
I'm sorry, but the race director screen went crazy there. As the virtual safety car's already ended, that was a very, very small virtual safety car.
Slenderman's just spun his teammate.
Oh.
At the back of the field, you might have missed that one. That's why Risky's last. He got spun round by his own teammate.
There's a Red Bull in the wall of Newgarden.
There's a Red Bull facing the wrong way.
Slenderman's now retired.
I think that's out of pure shame he's done that. Into the wall. Newgarden out the back. I'm surprised it's not a proper safety car. Still the VSC.
The VSC is over. It ended. Honestly, that was the shortest virtual safety car
Oh, is it gone?
I've seen.
I missed that.
So, as we finish lap 1, we've got Kyle in first and Time following in second, with Matt in third and Brad fourth, Flexi in fifth. And the top 5, is it the top? I believe the top 5 has stayed the same. No, actually, Flexi, looking at position gained, he has gained 2 positions. So Flexi's had a great start to say it's Monaco. There's a car smoking on my screen. No, I don't know who that was. It's the AlphaTauri.
Time has damage as well. Time has damage. Front right end plate.
Maybe tried to get a bit too opportunistic into turn 1. This Newgarden has left, which I believe by the looks of things he's just lagged out, because it says he's in the pit on my screen.
Yeah, and a new front wing.
Yellow flag in sector 2. Iceman looks to be in the wall. He's spanned the car. And
he can't do anything there.
As we predicted, Monaco not to be the cleanest race, as Tyne sets the fastest lap of the race behind Kyle. To be honest now, if you spin out now, I'd just pit for the hard tyre and just try and go towards the end now, because it's, unless you want to take the risk, go for another set of softs, try and gain the time you lost. It's interesting, because if there was a full course safety car, me personally, I would have gone for the hards and taken them to the end. With it being Monaco, track position is everything.
Yeah. I don't think for a second this race is over, as we
safety car.
That elusive safety car.
As I was saying.
What will the leaders do here? Yeah, what would you do then, Matt? Would you pit for the hards and go to the end?
I would. I would indeed. That's if there's no... Kev Ruski's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. And another 5-second penalty for collision with Yuri on Kev Ruski.
Now, I do wonder if there is actually any contact, because we know how tenacious, I guess is the word, this game is. So touchy, if you will. I don't know his real name, I apologise. has gone up to P3. Tyne is P4 and has a new front wing.
Right. Thanks for giving us updates whilst I'm attempting to rejoin this ever so reliable game of F1 2020. So I'm rejoining the session.
Super Matt Ryan is up to P5. Pete Knighton has taken advantage of everything. He's gone up to P6, which is a net P3, of course. Lexi 7th, Brendan is 8th, Kev is 9th, and Jack Craig is in the top 10 on a fresh set of hards.
That's very interesting. I mean, I'm thankful I'd lost connection during the safety car. At least it didn't happen when there was actually action on the track.
Yes. That would have been a bad time to go, but a few drivers have decided to stay out here, Matt.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've had a bit of an issue here.
Would you like another invite?
No, it's, my PlayStation has told me my internet connection is insufficient to stream. I'm just checking if the stream's still working.
It may just be audio.
The internet connection, right, it seems to be okay now. The internet connection. Right, it seems to still be working. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. I've never had that happen yet on this game, but unfortunately tonight it seems to be doing so. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the weather outside. It's not exactly great at the moment, but try and keep problems to a minimal, which I am sorry about that. I'm sorry for having to leave as well, Jack, so...
That's alright.
But the thing is though, if I'm going to be off topic on the game. If I lost connection, I'd lose connection to PSN. But it seems to be the servers on this game. Unfortunately, like, we've had 5 years on this current generation of console. Why do we still have these online issues? I just don't understand.
You don't mind quite so much when you, I don't know, say you're playing Call of Duty. If you lose connection, you've lost connection to PlayStation. So it's a PlayStation issue. But F1, whether it's F1 2010 or F1 2020 or anything in between, if you lose connection, it's to the game. It's the servers are just not quite up to scratch.
I mean, what you have to remember is it's esports ready.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that topic.
Yes.
I think
Sorry.
Everybody's complained about Codemasters servers enough and Codemasters in general over the years.
Indeed. We're still the full course yellow under the safety car. And
in that intermission, Matt, everybody made a pit stop with the exception of Matt Ryan, Giro and Matta, who has the race lead.
I got an invite from Speed Risky, apparently. On my screen it's got Matt who's leading with Kyle in P2, is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Right, okay. Just got an invite.
The top 5 are Matt, Kyle, Giro, other Matt, and Time.
Yeah, so I am connected to the game, so I got an invite from Risky for a minute there, so I was worrying for a minute there. As we've already got a first incident reported to the steward's room from Matt, so that it's already been more busy than Spain, which in response to last week's race where I said that the steward's room would be busy, it really wasn't, it was dead. No incidents were reported, not even that turn 3 incident. No incident wasn't reported.
Not even that turn 8 incident was between Kyle and Tyne.
Oh.
Impressive. It meant that the stat man Pete Knighton was able to get the points updated quicker than normal. It normally takes about 3 weeks to do it, so it was good to have it within the hour last week.
And I got a message from OK21 saying he can see the stream, so thanks for letting me know in chat that you can see the stream, because I'm trying to keep me from stop seeing the stream myself to put less load on my internet connection.
Is that Mr. OKK?
It seems to be OKKK. And the Williams loses the rear on the straight. As the safety car now ends as Matt goes in, stays in P1 into the lead. as Guru...
Giro gets up the inside of Kyle. Sorry, Matt, I interrupted you there.
No, I was about to say that as well. Thanks for letting me know about that, as these F1 game camera angles are just not really ideal for me, because it's just not showing me what I'd like to know. We show the gap to the leaders.
Giro's tyres, he didn't pit, but of course those mediums are in better condition than fresh hards. The hards have been known to be a better race tyre this year, but when they're cold, behind the safety car, it's no surprise that Kyle's dropped the position.
Indeed. As I've got the glitch where there's a car riding the red line. There's a bit of a corner cut for Matt Ryan there. He has to be careful because you only get two warnings. Third one, that's your penalty. Slap on the wrist. See which cars are close on trick. I think Jack and Yuri were close for a minute there. As again, as I warned Matt Ryan, he now gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. I need to stop jinxing
all over the back of him as well. Watch this into turn one. Time, will he go for it? Fresh mediums?
He thinks about it there. But he's got a very good run up the hill.
Oh.
Contact there. Has he got front wing damage?
He does not, but that's the sort of aggression we were seeing last week. A few of the drivers, they weren't too keen on seeing it and feeling it. But like I said earlier, it's good to see a little bit of aggression. There is a line. Yeah. He hasn't yet crossed it this week.
You have to bear in mind he's a reserve, and it's his second race in VSL, and he's already made a name for himself. He's been quite an aggressive and fast racer, so he's sort of like in the Verstappen era when he was fresh in F1. He looks down the inside of the Noval chicane, and that's a great move from Tyne up into P4.
Sign him up VSL.
Give him a promotion to Red Bull. What are those Red Bull drivers doing? Why is the AlphaTauri ahead? What's going on here? Unbelievable scenes. Kyle. Oh, this is like a little rivalry here. I think the audio is ahead of the video. That is a bit of an issue.
How far ahead are we talking?
I'm gonna have a little look, but it's quite frustrating when I'm trying. Like, it's not the viewer's fault. Trying to keep an eye on the action, but if we're having little issues like this, ideally for next time, Jack, you may have to like stream, but I'll be the commentator in the song.
With my internet.
Oh, so it's not just mine then? That's okay.
No.
Okay. Oh, so it's not just I mean, it doesn't seem too far behind.
Whilst you're working that out, Kyle is starting to get to grips with these hard tyres and is now being held up by Giro, which is also bringing Tyne back into the mix. Giro's tyres, his medium tyres, they will eventually go off.
Yeah, looking at the stream, the video seems to be 20 seconds behind where the audio is. Now, I don't understand what the issue's gone on there. So we're commentating what's happening on screen. May have to hit the PSN menu and restart it again. One sec. May have to restart the stream then.
No.
Refresh the YouTube.
Just refresh the YouTube page.
Refresh the YouTube page. A couple of technical issues here as we look at Giro, I think that's how you say his name, with Kyle all over the back as well as Tyne. This might end in tears, unfortunately. I hope I haven't jinxed anybody.
Now, one thing I will say, Tyne has gone to the mediums, which is the faster tyre, as we're all well aware of that. But I just wonder if he pushes too hard and stays in the dirty air car for so long, will he eventually run out of rubber towards the end of the Grand Prix? Has Kyle made a good decision to go onto the hards here? But then again, he's got the same problem being in Giro's dirty air.
Yeah. Going on to Geke's issue on the stream, it does seem I have an issue on my end where the video I've refreshed my YouTube, Jack, and the audio is 20 seconds ahead of where we're looking on track, so we could be battling, like commentating over a battle that's happening on track. And unfortunately the video seems to be 10 to 15 seconds behind on where the action is on track.
Oh dear.
So I may have to quickly restart the stream, so I'll try and make sure I don't miss any of the action.
Yellow flag.
There's a yellow flag in sector 3. Where was that? Just before I restart the stream, let's see where this incident, or whatever you like to call it.
He's retired in the pits.
He's probably got frustrated of losing too many front wings, or McLaren are running out of front wings. So we'll be back shortly as we prepare to restart the stream. And don't go anywhere, please. Please don't, because